So, hello my Gunrunners, welcome back to AK Reacts. I'm AK, an ex-conscript from a military family born and living in Iran. That's all you're gonna get from my intro. On the other hand, today we have another video by one of my most favorite YouTube channels still to this day, just because of their storytelling. This episode's name is Milkcrate / Casualty from the Campfire Stories series. The name doesn't sound enticing, but knowing them, there's something that they used that for the title. So anyway, as always, make sure to go over to their channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that, show them the appreciation and love that they truly deserve. You're gonna see a link to the original video in the top right corner of your screen, and all the required links are gonna be down below. Also, I'm always going to link Zach Hazard's channel as well. So without wasting any more time, let's get to the video and start.
When I was in high school, my family and I went on a cruise. They have a little tiny island that the ship parks nearby. You just don't park a ship, do you?
You could
anchor it
to the floor,
Sea floor,
the ground.
We were sitting on this little island, and I was sitting under a tree reading a book. And my family was like, "Oh, we're gonna go snorkeling, and we're gonna go."
Oh, that's
this.
fun.
And there's a bunch of stuff to do on this beach. You should come with us to go do this, 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 this. And I'm like, "No, I'm happy right here. I've got a book under a tree." They said,
on a
you
beach.
Can read a book anywhere. Why do you want to read a book now? We can go swimming in the ocean. I said, it's December. I'm sitting under a palm tree reading a book when I should be at school. This is the best.
Sure,
the only way
yeah.
to get better is if I finished reading the book and a coconut fell out of the tree and hit me in the head. And then I died and never had to go back.
Aww.
My sister spent 3 hours trying to crack open a coconut that fell out of one of the trees.
Using a chokehold to try to beat it open.
Those bastards are hard to peel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart.
No, they really don't. I kind of wonder what maniac saw one of those things and was like, "Hey, I bet there's something delicious on the inside here." And then once he got all the peel off the coconut, found this hard thing in the middle and went, "I bet there's still something inside of this."
That is insane.
Would do that.
Yeah.
He opens a locked box through brute force, finds another locked box, and says, "I bet there's still something in there."
Adventurers, my friend.
And then on the plus side, if you eat too much coconut, it makes you poop yourself.
Yeah, it is a laxative. Yeah. Oh, before they move past that, there's also this joke we have. I'm gonna give you the translation, not the actual thing. It goes like this. I wonder what was going through the mind of the guy that discovered cow milk. As in, the question would be, what in the world are you doing under that cow? No matter how you look at it, it is a bit strange. It's kind of like the coconut thing. Who looks at this heavy, hairy ball dangling top of a tree and decides they need to crack it twice just to get something out of it? Like, that is dedication. And how did you discover that? Let's keep going.
When my sister that's 3 years younger than me was born.
Just 1 second. Look at the pose. Just the pose. Like, what in the world?
My mom thought my sister was retarded.
Mentally retarded, huh?
Because she wouldn't cry or scream or do anything. She would just lay
silent?
in bed. Whereas I would literally scream myself to sleep. I would scream until I passed out.
Oh no.
That's how I would go to sleep. So my mom took my sister to the doctor.
I was like that.
Times. The doctor was like, "Look,
like the sister, not the
your baby. She's perfectly healthy. She's passed all the mental tests we've done. You have a perfectly healthy, normal, quiet baby.
Yeah, same.
Go home and enjoy your quiet baby."
Yeah.
My mom was like, "If she's the normal, quiet baby,
What's wrong with yes,
and the doctor was like, "That's your question right there."
I need to come clean with this one. I do have a very introverted personality, borderline withdrawn. I don't want to get into it too much, but I've had this personality since I was born. I am the senior child, and I do have a smaller sibling. Not unlike Zach, a sister. But our roles are just reversed from the story that Zach said. I was the first child, the quiet, never crying. My father literally joked about me that we used to just check up on you to see if you hadn't died. You were so quiet, we would mistake it and we would just say, "Oh, how we checked up on him in the last few hours." And they would come up and see me just playing games with my toys for hours on end without making a sound or voice. And then many years later, when my sibling joined the house, she was literally the complete opposite. Just like Zach, she would just scream herself to sleep. So my father would jokingly just say to me, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." And I was like, "Why am I catching strays?" And he would always say with this smirk, "If your dumbass would only cry a bit more, maybe make some noise once in a while, then maybe I wouldn't have fallen for it again," thinking the second one would be just the same. So yeah, I had like the exact same story as Zach, but their roles are the worst because they were surprised that my sister was just such a, well, crybaby, as she was a crying baby. But I was the weird one because I was quiet. And that was their standard per se. So yeah, let's keep going. Just a bit back.
What's wrong with Zach? And the doctor was like, "That's your question right there."
Yeah, yeah.
And they never found an answer to it.
No, they never did. My favorite game to play as a small child was applesauce bombs.
I can't even guess what this could possibly be.
And
Neither
the
could
way
I.
to play this game is by grabbing the nearest jar of applesauce and throwing it onto the floor because it makes a cool sound and it explodes all over the place.
Oh,
There are no
God.
points to this game. There's
Oh,
no
no.
scoring structure. The only person who wins is the person playing the game. Because everybody else has to clean it up and explain why your horrible child decided to throw a jar of applesauce onto the floor.
What made you this way?
I have no idea. This is why I'm terrified to have children, because I'll have a child and they'll be exactly like me, and I'll
Oh.
have to kill them.
Oh,
Or they'll
God,
be nothing
no.
like me, and I'll have to kill them.
Why
Why would you have
then?
to kill them if they're nothing like you?
Because then they like sports.
People who like sports. People who like sports grow up to be functional individuals.
Yeah.
I was a horrible
I don't like
little devil
sport, but I
child.
get the
I don't
point.
recall myself being quite so evil. Up until about the first grade, I was just a little tattletale. Teacher, this person's not singing the right song lyrics. This person's intentionally singing the wrong
Ah, a
lyrics.
teacher's
Oh
pet.
man, I would have hated you.
And around first grade is when I realized, wow, I should shut my mouth. And so from first grade to fourth grade, I was very, very quiet. And I distinctly remember that at one point in fourth grade, we all had to pass around pieces of paper with our name on it.
All
And our
right.
classmates would have to write a compliment on them. And 90% of the compliments I got back were, "You're really quiet." Like, that's
Oh.
supposed to be a good thing.
Yeah, that's not a
Everyone else would
good
get
thing.
messages, "You are really cute. I like your hair. You
Yeah.
are very positive." And all of mine are just, "You're quiet. I like how quiet you are. You don't say much. You smell
Yeah.
nice. You're quiet."
Wait,
You said you
what?
smell nice.
Yeah, yeah. Who smelled you? And he just
I've
passes
been
it
wanting to
on.
get a milk crate for the
Ugh.
back of my car.
Let me just start off by asking, why?
I wanted an industrial milk
Good
crate.
question.
not a-
No. Why do you want a milk crate at all? Why do you need a milk crate?
So that I can put things like my bag that has my jumper cables in it and a bottle of washer fluid. And
So
an extra
just a
bottle of
box?
oil and gloves and things like that in the trunk of my
Open
car.
box,
and
per
they
se.
don't roll all over the place.
Oh, so you just need something to hold it in.
Yeah, and I just wanted a milk crate because milk crates are generally cheap, but I'm weird, so I
They
want
do the
an
work.
industrial milk crate, not one of those crappy ones that you can get at Super Walmart.
I'll assume they're all pretty brittle if you buy a cheapo one. So
Yeah, you get a cheapo one from Walmart. They're like $15 and they just fall apart. So I was driving to my girlfriend's house the other day. I've been looking on the side of the road to see if I find milk crates because you can always see one just sitting on the side of the road.
So you wanted an industrial strength milk crate, but you're willing to pick one out of the garbage that's been rotting and...
It's how can it possibly be rotting? It's made out of like oh my god.
It's gonna last like a century or
Plastic
two.
becomes brittle.
No, it's made out of the same plastic they used to make
Polystyrene.
No, it's not polystyrene.
Polyethylene.
No, it's not polyethylene. It's oh my
Going
god.
down the list.
Polypropylene.
Stop it! You're messing with my head.
There are a lot of different kinds of plastics.
It's
True.
made out of a very robust kind of plastic that they use to make playground equipment. Anyway,
Playground?
so I'm driving to my girlfriend's
I don't
house.
know.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, on the side of the road, I see a milk crate, and I say, "Hey, free milk crate."
I
Sure.
imagine you did say that out loud. You saw it and went, "Hey, Zach, free milk crate." Wow. Good spot, Zach. I will
If it's on the side of the road,
Not
yeah.
wrong. Anyway, so I pull over, I grab the milk crate, throw it in the back of my car, and I'm very pleased with myself.
Why wouldn't you? You just got a free milk crate.
Free milk crate.
Yeah, yeah.
$30 online. That's expensive. I don't want to pay that money.
Yeah.
Oh, you found it in
Just an FYI, $30 was in today's currency, would be my monthly wage as a conscript. So just FYI, if I ever do make this thing big, for some reason, and it makes only $30 a month, I would actually be making a huge profit. Because during my conscription, I would have had to take so much bullshit, actually risk my life. I was a 911 responder, seeing horrendous things just for $30 a month. Just to put the disparity in economics in today's value, just saying. Also, these values will get worse and worse as we are currently on the path to. But yeah, Zach saying, oh, it's a milk carton for $30. That is just a month of taking stupid shit and being paid almost nothing for it. Let's keep going.
Industrial strength one, or was it crappy as well?
Oh, no, it was an industrial strength milk crate.
So it was a good one. Yeah, yeah.
Milk crate.
It probably fell off the back of somebody's truck.
Okay.
So anyway, I grab it, throw it in the back of my car. So I tell my girlfriend, I had to stop on the highway to grab milk crate. And she's like, why? And I go, free milk crate. She's like, honey, I would have bought you a milk crate. And I'm like, yeah, but this one was free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's disgusting. Why?
How? What?
Why? I would have just
Reusability.
bought you one. I was like, yes, but
Recycle.
free.
You don't have to buy me milk crates. That's stupid. Picking one off the side of the road. Yeah, here
It's
we
good
go.
fiscal sense, and I'm recycling.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep.
And
I'm not going to turn your nose up at that. You are reusing things.
yeah, because otherwise it's just going to sit on the side of the road and never decay because it's made out of industrial plastic.
So now you have a milk
Or
crate
being
in the back of your
thrown in
vehicle.
garbage
She
and,
says that's disgusting,
and they're
she's
gonna
like,
burn it.
I'm going to tell your mom. I said, she'll be proud of me. And she's like, I don't think so. I think she'll think it's gross. And so she texts my mom and says, you will not believe what your son did. He grabbed a disgusting milk crate off the side of the highway and put it in the back of his car. And my mom goes, I raised him well.
So she
W mom.
But then my mom did also say, it was a free milk
Oh, she gets
She said
it.
that.
Yeah,
So
like,
she's explaining it to her.
that's very important to me, is that it was a free milk crate.
Did you actually wash it though?
Oh yeah, I took it to a car wash and I just blasted it with a power washer. It's
Oh.
squeaky clean.
Oh, so you put more effort into it than most people would.
So I have a clean milk crate sitting in the back of my car now.
And you're
That's
not
a good
even eating
choice.
out of it, so it's clean
Wow.
enough. It does the job.
Yeah. If it's
It
for
was fun when I
tools
got
in
to
our
her
lab.
house. She went to kiss me and then she stopped and she goes, did you wash your hands? I'm like, yes.
Yes, I did. And then you lift up the box of milk crates. Also, I found some wild animals. Pet the ferret.
Oh.
By the way, I do still have that incendiary incident card, playing cards.
Oh, the casualty card that I gave you.
Yeah.
I have all
Casualty
500
cards?
Casualty cards. Well, minus that one, because I gave it to you.
Oh, do you want it back so you have a full collection?
Oh no, I don't care. It's not like I collect them or anything. I just still have them.
Do you use them as trading cards or playing cards?
I just keep them around. I think they're bookends right now.
Congratulations, you have incendiary burns on your left shoulder.
Congratulations.
Are they
you
one
got
of those
gonorrhea.
first aid
Is that one of
things?
the cards too?
Yes, one of the cards is gonorrhea. One of the other ones is tubal pregnancy.
Oh, so they
Pregnancy.
are. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That doesn't sound pleasant. No.
No. So those little casualty card things, right?
Yes.
You're supposed to use them when you're doing training.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah,
they're
yeah.
issued
Got
to you
it.
in
Got
a
it.
little brown envelope that you can't see through. And you're only supposed to take it out of your pocket and open it if your miles gear gets hit, which it is pretty much just laser tag for the military. If your
When
miles
it's
gear
triggered,
goes off,
yeah.
it starts making a buzzing noise, and then one of the observer controllers has to come over and turn it off, and he tells you to pull the casualty card out of your pocket. And normally what they do before they do field rotations is they take all the casualty cards that they're going to use, and they usually pick the ones that are most valid.
Sure.
Burns from incendiary rounds, or puncture wound to lower abdomen, or
All
gunshot
right.
wound to face,
Sergeant, while I was in the foxhole, I got gonorrhea. Don't ask questions.
or KIA. That's not really treatable, so they don't really use KIA a whole
Yeah,
lot.
what's
But they also
what
have
are
a
you
bunch
going
of
to do
cards
then?
for random things, because the medics also use these for training. You have to guess what's wrong with a person based on the symptoms that they have from that card.
Sure.
So there's ones like tubal pregnancy and gonorrhea.
What are the symptoms? Baby growing in the fallopian tube. I wonder what that one is.
But we were on a field exercise, and of course, everybody immediately opens their card to see what they got. Because it's funny.
I hope we got a hologram
Yeah.
foil one.
Oh, this one's mythic. Awesome. Oh, but it's got a cost of 6
Quality
swamp.
checks.
I don't even have a black deck. So we were out in
Rarities.
the field and we got those. Someone opens theirs up and they're just like, guys, what's tubal pregnancy? And we're just like, what?
fair enough. I suppose you can develop that if you're in the army.
In a war
female
zone?
soldiers exist.
But yeah,
and they
sure.
could start showing symptoms while they're serving in the battlefield.
On the battlefield? Yeah,
That wasn't what I was
true.
getting at, but
Yeah.
Do you think that love can bloom on a battlefield? Well, I think that you can certainly make love on a battlefield. I did yesterday.
I know
in my
barrack
foxhole
bunnies exist.
with an empty MRE.
Don't ask.
On the plus side, at least those blueberry pudding packages are getting used for something.
Field expedient Tenga. So anyway, he had his card that said dual pregnancy, and we were doing a field exercise, and one of the observer controller was pointed at him and is like, you're injured. What's your casualty card?
Oh no.
And he pulls it out of his pocket and goes, I have a tubal pregnancy. The observer controller goes, go back to fighting. Didn't even want to deal with it.
Fair.
The casualty card of tubal pregnancy is either you go back to fighting or you're just KIA.
Yeah.
What?
Because they don't want to deal with it.
Fair, you know,
Very
I get it.
slow, long-term problem. We can treat it within the next
That's
months.
the
No, you're
symptoms,
dead.
yeah.
Not a problem.
My favorite one, I always kept one as a
Let me guess your favorite. Testicular torsion.
no,
Ooh.
not testicular torsion.
You
but
don't
I
like
think-
testicular torsion?
Who
I think
likes
that
it?
was actually a card.
I believe if fallopian tube pregnancy is, then yeah, testicular torsion's gotta be one.
My favorite one was laser burns to eyes.
That's one too?
Wouldn't
Oh
know how
my
you would
god.
treat that. Ice packets, maybe?
Bandage? Yeah.
I always, anytime we would go out to the field, I had laser burns to eyes. So every time we would go out to the field, I would take my card out, and it was always something boring like puncture wound or
Yeah.
gunshot wound to face.
What?
Shot in the face. It happens so often. Who even thinks about it?
It's just draining.
What do you do
I
for
would
that
very
one?
carefully remove the staple, pull the staple out, slide my card out, and put
Oh
laser
god,
burns to
you
eyes
changed it.
into
Oh
and then
no.
staple it back together. On the hope
So
that-
much
that
effort.
A random observer controller would be like, "You're injured. What does your casualty card say?" And I would say, "I got shot in the face by Cobra Commander."
Oh god. Oh, that was so good. G.I. Joe references. Oh, that was it. Oh, that was so good. I did not know that such a thing existed, but I'm so happy it does. Our training as cops were just mostly based on the law and order, but we had some first aid trainings, not as deep as like having cards to test them out, but they did like scenarios, as in what would you do in these situations. As the telephone numbers for emergency services in Iran are different, you call 110 for cops, 125 for the fire department, 115 for ambulance services, and these I think are the main ones that anyone would actually need. But if you were to call one of these, that request would sometimes, if it does have a requirement of it, would notify other stations. So if I got a 911 call about a traffic accident or something, about 95% of the times the call had gone through emergency services, then was relayed back to us, the cops, because first saving the guy is important, then keeping the law and order and cleaning up the streets, like moving the cars to the parking lots and other procedures that follow after. But even then, we had trainings to not sometimes move the person that had had some sort of injury, not to remove objects if they were in and clotting or jammed in some places. The big consensus was just don't touch them until the EMTs get here, because they would know better, right? But yeah, I remember we had like CPR trainings, and as I was part of guard duties, any building that you would be assigned to, you would be shown where the electrical sockets are, where the water pump handles are so you can cut off the water, turn off the electricity, where the fire extinguishers are, the different types, the different uses for those. So it was extensive, but it was extensive in very specific places or areas of expertise per se. As always, another fantastic story by Mike and Zach. They never disappoint. So again, make sure to show them support. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. And if you like this one, maybe do the same for me. I'll surely appreciate it. So I ranted on enough. Thank you for watching till the end of this video, and I'll see you all hopefully very soon.